Yes, sir. Let's go again. This video is entitled Amorim's master plan was never random. Let's go.
These months, but I accept that. But I'm not going to change. When I want to change my philosophy, I will change. If not, you have to change the man.
Okay, we need to speak seriously about what Ruben Amorim is building at Manchester United, because
Yeah, and everyone has to agree that the time Amorim stepped on the pay on Manchester United, they have to agree. Everyone should agree with this. Amorim is building something no one knows, but it is a winning strategy. The thing he is building is a winning master plan. Just witness their game of play.
this is no
Let's
accident,
go.
no lucky streak, no short-term bounce.
Why not winning the league? Why not? Dreaming is possible, no? So let's dream and yeah.
This is a transformation crafted with precision, conviction, and a level of tactical bravery the Premier League has not seen at Old Trafford in a decade. Under Amorim, United have gone from a team afraid of big moments to a side that can walk into Anfield, a place they had not conquered in 9 years, and win like a heavyweight. They can go to Selhurst Park and end Crystal Palace's 12-match unbeaten home run. They can outplay Chelsea, a team firmly in the title race.
They can outplay Chelsea when Chelsea is having a red card, bitch. They can only outplay Chelsea when Chelsea is having a red card. Everyone witnessed that. Even Chelsea, when Chelsea got a red card, they continued pressing Manchester United. Yes, sir. The last match.
Enzo Maresca. And they can go toe-to-toe with Mikel Arteta's league-leading Arsenal and look like the more complete tactical machine. United sit just 4 points behind Manchester City, and that alone tells you everything. Amorim is cooking something serious, and it starts with the victories nobody sees, the internal battles he has already won.
17 players. He said, you are not a Ruben Amorim player. Get out of my club. Clean the decks, clear the decks, right? He was allowed to do that, and that's my point again. He was allowed to get rid of the dead wood, the rubbish, the ones that he didn't think were good enough or could play his form.
Bro, the rubbish. Anthony, Rashford, the rubbish. Isn't that a big word? Isn't that a big word?
First, he refused to abandon his footballing identity, despite suffocating pressure from fans, media, and the club's past scars. Second, his transfer window was not luck, it was surgical. He brought in a goalkeeper who can finally catch a ball, command a box, and hit long passes with purpose.
What you want to say.
And he brought 3 forwards, Benjamin Šeško, Mateus Cunha, and Brian Mbeumo, perfectly engineered for his tactical model, pressing high, attacking second balls, breaking lines, and forcing the entire team to push up together.
If you are not working, if you are a lazy guy in training, he's not like him. He's not like him. Yeah, he'll kill you.
But the biggest victory is cultural. This United is mentally unrecognisable. In their last 7 matches, they lost only once, and in 4 of those games they were trailing. Last season, going behind meant collapse.
And that's 4 games unbeaten away from Old Trafford now, scoring twice in each of those 4 games. You must be really pleased with that.
Yeah, but it's not enough. We need to not to draw, we need to win, we have a lot to do.
This season, it means fight, it means belief, it means the team refuses to die. Defensive actions once thought impossible are now
Maguire, the Messi Maguire, the one who saves the day. The most expensive defender in the world, Maguire.
happening. Big 6 rivals who used to smell blood now show respect.
Boemo,
And the dream of
with a
Europe,
bald
which felt
head.
like delusion a year ago, is suddenly real. Ruben Amorim's master plan was never random. He moved the right pieces at the right time, with the right conviction. And while there is still a long road ahead, one thing is crystal clear. The Premier League now has an Amorim problem, and Manchester United are rising stronger than anyone expected.
Okay, let's
A little
rise.
over a year ago, Manchester United made one of the
Ten
strangest
Hag.
decisions in modern Premier League history. They sacked Erik ten Hag just months after a full internal review concluded that he should stay. The breaking point was a 2-1 defeat to West Ham, another chapter in a cycle of inconsistency that left United drifting.
The only problem Manchester United had was thinking that if you bring a board-mastered man on the pitch, he will deliver. They saw Chelsea bringing on a man with a bald head. They saw Man City with a man with a bald head. So they decided, let's go bold. And shit went astray.
They had finished 8th the season before, and early in the new campaign they were sitting in 14th. Then came Ruben Amorim, the bold hire, the high-risk appointment, the long-term bet, and the outcome on paper looked even worse. United ended last season in 15th.
We need to survive now. So, we are being the worst team, maybe, in history of Manchester.
On the surface, the numbers were damning. Points per game fell from 1.2 under Ten Hag to 1.0 under Amorim. Their goal difference per match dipped from minus 0.3 to minus 0.4. Everything suggested decline, regression, or even crisis.
He's got 3 years, but he almost doesn't help him by saying it because nobody believes it. Nobody believes for 1 minute that Ruben Amorim will be the...
Yet Manchester United did something they hadn't done in years. They stayed the course. They backed the manager they believed in, even when the data painted an uglier picture than the one that got the previous coach fired. And for a moment, it looked like the tide had finally turned. United went on a 5-match, unbeaten run across all competitions through October and November, sparking hope that Amorim's ideas were finally taking shape.
Out of the club, almost out. People wanted him out, but how he's shown the resilience, the character to come back to where he is, man, to be doing what he's doing, to fight off all sorts of criticism.
But it is okay to believe in somebody. Manchester United should give, and I'm grateful that they gave him time. He's having all the time he wanted and the time he wants to build anything he wants. But the moment he stops delivering, like recent, he has lost a match. He drew 4-4. Now he lost 2-1. If he continues like that, something will not be right.
Hands up and tip your hat to him, man, because that's a strength of character, and that resilience I spoke about before is phenomenal. We're now 2 points behind Liverpool.
That hope was quickly tested and almost derailed by a demoralising 1-0 home defeat to Everton, who played with 10 men for more than 75 minutes. It was the kind of loss that, in past years, would have detonated the entire project.
You've been in good nick up until tonight, 5 games unbeaten, so does this feel like it's a big step backwards?
Yes, especially in the way we play the game. Forget about the results. The results is also really bad, but I'm more concerned with the feeling that I had during the game.
But here's the key. This Manchester United didn't break. They didn't implode. They didn't collapse under the weight of frustration. Through 13 league matches, they now in 7th place. Not spectacular, not glamorous, but very different from the emotional chaos of the post-Ferguson era.
The formation is not the problem. I learn a lot, and sometimes it's hard, but you learn a lot with these things. I think I'm a better manager now. I'm ready for the future, I'm ready for the present.
A year and a day after Amorim's first match in charge, after a full season's worth of Premier League games plus one more, we can finally ask the question, honestly, are Manchester United better today than they were a year ago? And the answer, even if the table doesn't show it, even if the stats don't scream it, is yes. And not just a little bit better. Far better in ways that matter, and far better in ways you only see when you actually watch them play, week after week. Okay, let's get something straight. Manchester United only have 2 more points than they did at this stage last season. They've scored 3 more goals, but they've also conceded 7 more. On paper, these numbers should not suggest a team that feels more stable, more dangerous, or more complete. And yet, it does. It feels different. It looks different. It plays different. As Amorim admitted himself, last year his management was deeply emotional because the results weren't arriving, and that tension prevented him from applying his philosophy at 100%. Now we're finally seeing what his football actually looks like. Formations can be misleading. A 4-3-3 can be a 4-2-3-1, which can easily look like a 3-4-3, depending on the phase of play. But with Amorim, the numbers matter because his philosophy is tied directly to that first digit.
But I'm not going to change. When I want to change my philosophy, I will change. If not, you have to change
He
the
said back in September when United were struggling, and he meant it. According to Stats Perform, Amorim has started all 40 matches at United with either a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1 shape. Only Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace has used a back three more consistently. But here's the twist. The structure stayed the same, yet the football did not. Last season, the defining trait of Amorim's United was painfully slow ball movement. After his
Yes.
appointment, United progressed the ball upfield at just 0.98 metres per second, the second slowest in the league behind Manchester City. But unlike City, United weren't slowing down to carve open the final third. They were simply circulating the ball in their own half, going nowhere, creating nothing, stuck between fear and confusion. In football, you can play slow and dominate territory, or play quick and allow some chaos in exchange for verticality. Both can work. But if you play slow and fail to dominate territory, you're basically
That's
walking into
terrible.
relegation football. And indeed, two of last season's relegated sides lived in that slow and not dominant quadrant. Alongside West Ham and Wolves, both candidates this season too, United were dangerously close to joining that group. This year, that's changed. Amorim's United are controlling roughly the same territory as before, but they're doing it with a completely transformed tempo, faster circulation, quicker decisions, more direct progression, sharper execution. And that shift has made a monumental difference. Through 13 matches, compared to Amorim's 27 league games last season, United are averaging 0.5 more points per game, and their goal difference has improved by 0.4 per match. Over a full campaign, that's a 19-point jump and a 15-goal improvement, the difference between mediocrity and genuine European contention. And you can see it in the transitions. United break faster, attack with purpose, and punish mistakes immediately. Brian Mbeumo's goal against Liverpool, his double against Brighton, Cunha's strike versus Brighton, and Mbeumo's first United goal against Burnley all came
Poemo
from
Body
rapid
Master.
transitional sequences that simply did not exist last year. So just how much better are Manchester United this season?
Mason
And more
Mount.
importantly, is this improvement something that can last? To answer that, we start with one of the most reliable indicators of a team's real level, adjusted goal differential, a blend of 70% expected goals and 30% actual goals. By this metric, United are almost a complete inversion of last year, and in the best possible way. Under Amorim last season, their adjusted goal differential sat at minus 0.16, a number that reflects a team constantly swimming against the tide. This year, that figure has climbed to plus 0.20, placing United in the
God
top 7
damn.
across the league through their first 12 matches. That is not a coincidence, that is systemic progress. When we zoom into the attacking side, the leap becomes even clearer. United are now
sir.
generating 1.67 adjusted goals scored per match, a sharp rise from the 1.29 they produced under Amorim last year. On the defensive end, the adjusted goals conceded has technically worsened by the smallest margin, from 1.45 to 1.46, but this microscopic difference is overshadowed by the much larger gains in attack. This is the hallmark of a manager deliberately shifting the balance,
That
accepting
shows
slightly higher
difference.
defensive risk in exchange for a far more dangerous and productive offensive framework. Finding this equilibrium, choosing where to sacrifice, where to push, and where to protect is essentially the essence of elite coaching. Amorim has clearly learned from last year's struggles, refining his tempo, his press triggers, and the verticality of his transitions. This is one of the hidden advantages of hiring a young manager. Just like a young player, they evolve, they adapt, and they get better with experience. And of course, coaching adjustments don't exist in a vacuum. The biggest difference between this season and last isn't just tactical, it's personnel. United's entire front line has been rebuilt. Brian Mbeumo has played nearly every available minute, becoming the heartbeat of this attack. Matheus Cunha and Benjamin Šeško have dealt with injuries, but even so, each has started at least half of the matches, giving United a level of mobility, pressing intensity, and fluidity that simply didn't exist last season. The reality is simple. Manchester United are a better attacking team because they bought better attackers. When you spend
Yeah,
200 million
they are good with attacking nowadays. 30% of their balls is behind their half, and 70% is on attacking. Name nigga. They spend all most of their time on the pitch. 70% is attacking, putting all the balls at front and wrong balls. Manchester United is the team now in Premier League which has played more wrong balls than any other team. They don't play short passes. They want to put the ball behind the defenders every time because they have the attacking force with Mbeumo running behind the defenders. One day it will deliver, but they are struggling for sure. It is good because they put the ball behind the defenders and they all attack. They open up gaps to attack. but the gaps they leave, eventually other team use them as a weapon to reverse their attack, and the other team, the opponent, starts attacking as well. That's why they ended up drawing 4-4 with Crystal Palace.
£1 million on a frontline overhaul, you expect immediate transformation, and that's exactly what happened. Mbeumo has been sensational, already scoring more league goals than Rasmus Højlund or Joshua Zirkzee managed last season. Cunha's goal contributions have taken longer to appear, but his relentless energy, pressing intelligence and ability to drop, drag markers and recycle possession at high speed have elevated the entire team's attacking rhythm.
Yes, sir. On that,
The improvement isn't just in the volume of
I'm not going
chances,
to
but in
pause
the
again.
quality of those chances. United aren't taking far more shots, they're taking better ones. The new look front line gives Amorim tools he simply didn't have last year. And one detail stands out. United now execute long switches of play more frequently than any other Premier League team. This deliberate tactic, firing the ball from one flank to the opposite side, pulls defences apart, forces constant reshuffling, and delivers the ball to Mbeumo or Cunha before defenders can reorganise. So does Ruben Amorim truly deserve credit for changing the way Manchester United play? The answer is an emphatic yes, and the clearest evidence lies in the one phase of play where nothing happens by accident: goal kicks.
If he doesn't compete in 2025-2026 season, yeah, he's not going to be credited. Yeah, he's not going to be credited because at this point the team needs him more. Liverpool is losing. Arsenal is the one with the most power, the one competent to win the Premier League. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Manchester is striving to come back. Chelsea is just a mediocre. Manchester United, you should stand up. Yeah, at this point, you should come up with a new strategy. No one is going to credit Amorim for not. Stupid. Yeah, they are good with that, putting their own boys at front.
This is the moment where tactical intention is pure, where every movement is scripted and every touch is planned. And here the numbers reveal a transformation that is unmistakably deliberate. United are now playing 2/3 of their goal kicks long, compared to just 45% last season. Even more telling, the goalkeepers are launching non-goal kick deliveries 60% of the time, almost double the 32% from the previous campaign. Yes, part of this is simply because Andre Onana, the self-styled Pirlo in gloves, is no longer in goal, but the timing, the patterns, and the results all point to something far more intentional. Amorim has engineered a new vertical identity by design, not by coincidence. And we don't even have to rely on theory, because the pitch has already shown us 3 perfect examples of how dangerous this long ball mechanism has become under Amorim. The first comes from Bryan Mbeumo's debut goal in a United shirt. Bayanda launched a towering clearance, Zirkzee rose above everyone to win the aerial duel, and Diogo Dalot, fighting through 2 defenders all the way to the byline, emerged with the ball. The fullback raised his head, spotted Mbeumo's intelligent run, and delivered a clean low cross that the Cameroonian finished with ruthless composure. A goal born entirely from verticality, duels, and Amorim's blueprint. The second example is Mbeumo's goal against Liverpool, a goal that summed up this new United in a single sequence. Lamens hit long, the ball bounced between Maguire and Van Dijk, and Mbeumo did just enough to disrupt the duel. Bruno Fernandes snapped onto the loose ball in Liverpool's half and immediately released Ahmad. In that moment, you could see why this tactical idea is so dangerous. United had 7 players already positioned in the final third. Ahmad drove forward at full speed. Liverpool's defensive line couldn't reorganise quickly enough, and the Ivorian slid an exquisite pass into Mbeumo's run. One touch, calm finish, and Anfield was stunned. The third example is yet another long delivery from Bayanda, this time finding Benjamin Šeško. The Slovenian rose between 2 defenders to flick the ball on, and
The way the guy is giving the statistics, it feels natural. It feels natural until you see Manchester United play.
Mbeumo accelerated like a bolt of lightning past his marker, and suddenly it was a 1v1 against Sanchez. The
And a
Spanish keeper had
goal.
no choice but to bring him down, earning a red card
That was
and
a red
shifting the entire
card.
match. This wasn't luck. This wasn't improvisation. This was a rehearsed pattern executed with total clarity. Win the duel, attack the space, punish the opponent. So yes, Amorim deserves immense credit for this tactical variant. He has weaponized the long ball, not in the outdated sense of kick it and hope, but as a modern transition tool built around pace, strength, and chaos. He has empowered his forwards to attack aggressively, he has built structures to secure second balls, and he has given United a vertical identity that is winning them goals, points, and respect. The team is faster, braver, more direct, and far more unpredictable. And that is only half the story, because there is another dimension where United have grown into one of the most dangerous sides in Europe, their set-piece revolution. United now have the highest goals per 100 set-pieces rate in the entire 2025-26 Premier League, an incredible 10.4 goals per 100 set
From
pieces.
set pieces only.
And you can sense by throw-ins, free kicks, corner kicks.
Looking at the per set piece metric puts every team on equal ground, and this number places United right at the very top. And if we dive deeper into the underlying data, the story becomes even clearer. United are not just scoring more, often they are consistently creating high-quality chances from dead ball situations. Their 6.5 expected goals per 100 set pieces is also the best in the league. This is not luck. This is a product of hours and hours of work behind the scenes. You can see the results directly on the pitch. In the 2-1 win against Crystal Palace on Sunday, United scored both goals from set pieces to take the 3 points. But this wasn't an isolated moment, it's part of a clear trend. Amorim's growth in set-piece organisation has delivered crucial goals all season, goals that rescued matches or secured victories. We saw it with Xerxes and Mason Mount in the recent win. We saw it with Harry Maguire's header against Liverpool.
Messi Maguire.
With Casemiro and Diallo against Nottingham Forest. With Lenny Yoro's goal against Fulham.
Footed delivery from the right-hand side towards the back post. Heads go up, it's a goal!
With Matthijs de Ligt against Tottenham. With Casemiro striking again.
They are good with set pieces. Manchester United is ahead, is 99% ahead of any team. And coming next is Crystal Palace. Yes, I think it is Crystal Palace, another team with winning set pieces and having more goals from the set pieces. I think it is Crystal Palace. Yeah, including throw-ins. Boy, they even use throw-ins. As in, a player throws a ball from the line to the box.
Versus Chelsea.
It is 99% a winning.
And with Benjamin Šeško's opener against Sunderland, the goal that unlocked that entire match.
That's what I've been telling you.
That entire match.
That's what I'm speaking about. You see, they throw a ball. Goal. Arsenal was good at this, but Manchester United has cleaned it. They have purified it. They have funneled it and delivered something special from it.
Every one of these moments is proof that United are now a team fully trained in dead ball danger. It's the clearest sign yet that Amorim is genuinely cooking something serious. So yes, Manchester United have improved. Of course, there is still work to be done. This is a team capable of beating the very best Liverpool, Sunderland, Chelsea, Crystal Palace, but also capable of losing to a side like Everton.
It happens sometimes.
They still concede too many goals, and that's normal. Amorim is taking more risks now, pushing his structure higher, and the midfield still needs more balance to protect the backline. But even with those flaws, United now have real, tangible victories to show. By pushing his fullbacks higher into advanced zones and involving them directly in the attacking mechanisms, Amorim has rebuilt United into a team that can hurt anyone. The squad now competes with intensity, they refuse to collapse mentally, and when they go behind, they know how to respond to something that felt impossible last season. The cultural rebuild in the dressing room after the internal clean-up has been enormous for the Red Devils. And because of all this, one thing's becoming clearer and clearer every week. Good days are coming.
Yes, sir. If you have found this video helpful and wonderful, please subscribe to my page, Son of Nabuja. Amorim is changing football in Premier League. Feel me? And is going to be credited in 2027, not 2026. Yeah, season 2026-2027, Amorim, I think he will be better. He will be good. Yes, he will be inevitable, but not today. And I think Manchester United is not going to qualify again for Champions League because of everything which is going on. They are good with everything, tactics, positioning, attacking, behind the goal, everything, name it. But there's something lacking. They need those players like you see how a winning. They need players with a winning mentality. What do I mean by winning mentality? Players like De Bruyne, players like Messi. You see Ronaldo, players with a mentality of we have to do this. If not this, there is no eating. Players like Osimhen, you feel me? Players who are playing to put something on the table. But if you're putting players, plan the kids on the pitch, and you think they will deliver, you're bullshitting.